Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
If I'm a one-hit wonder, at least I got one, huh? At least I got something, really ain't me. The beat bumping, one song could change lives. Let's see something, one joke could save lives. We gon' keep coming, keep functioning, something out of nothing. Ball-wise, I'm top 300, get your favorite artist. I'll chop it up with mutton if they haters. Your ghost could be bludgeon if they for real. We getting money, so try BS minus Negroes, cutting everything authentic. Stupid shit I did it, punishing myself like my mom prison. No questions, no T not lifting. One time for T, being broke wasn't living. One hit wonder, at least I got.
What's good? What's good? What's good? YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, IG, all that good shit. How everybody feeling this evening? Happy Thursday. Peace and love. Good to be here amongst the people. You see the title. We gonna rap. We definitely got a lot to talk about. Shout out to the new subscribers. Shout out to the reposters. Shout out to the comments. The whole team. Rob, Sydney, all of y'all. Much love from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you all. Chef, Arcana, the whole Threads gang, everybody, man, who's been locked in, supporting. I ain't forgot you. Promise you, I ain't forgot you. It's been a long week. We here. If you're amongst the land of the living, that's more than enough reason to celebrate. I don't really care what you got going on. Struggle, strife, on your last dollar, doesn't really matter. If you still got air in your lungs, every second after this means something, 1000%. And I want to send my thoughts and my prayers out to everybody right now that's doing whatever they got to do to make it happen, because this shit is rough. It is not cut and dry. You know, hell, some of us got it worse than others, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to be more humble and filled with humility when it comes to how I perceive life and my own issues and others, and not try to diminish anybody else's. So just something to keep in mind when you getting up out your bed and you got people down your throat, you got the pressure on you, You got the bills on you. You got the world against you. Suck it up. Rebuke whatever negativity that's going on inside of you. Give God praise, because you could be in a entirely worse scenario. So yeah, the video that I'm about to bring up on the big screen, I'm going to need your full attention. I'm going to need you to lock in. I've seen a few people react to it. I wanted to do it live. So repost, share, let the people know that we are on. This young gentleman is an African American male, and he hasn't had the greatest experience dating within his own culture, the black community. That part, just so we clear, there's no confusion about where I'm standing with that. This is like a 3-minute clip. What I really like to do is let it run all the way through so that you'll get his position. Keep an open mind. Try not to be too judgy. I don't really necessarily believe that that's how we operate on this side of the internet. I see it everywhere. Not too much over here. So just keep an open mind, and let me know how y'all feel. Do you agree? Do you feel where he's coming from? I see you, bro. I hope you find you a spot to do your streaming and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a uncomfortable one for some people. It's not that uncomfortable for me. None of these are, but let me bring this up on a big screen. I'm gonna let it rock out the entire time. Like I said, it's like 3 minutes. And then, granted, he's giving you his personal experience. It doesn't mean that this is for everyone. It's just how he feels about it. So let's go ahead and play this clip.
Honestly feel about black women. First, I'm going to talk about my childhood and how I viewed black girls. As a little boy, I was never attracted to black girls. And I'd say the reason for this is because I saw white as a beauty standard. Turn on TV, white girls. Go outside, white girls. Go in school, the ones I found attractive, white girls. Why didn't I like black girls as a child? Well, I just saw them more as like closer to family. They're like closer to like me, and that's not who I'm supposed to be attracted to. Looking back subconsciously, that's how I saw it as a kid, but I wouldn't be able to put it into words when I was that age. That's just how it was. When I would have interaction with the black girls, a lot of times they were often rude, mean, sassy, but since I wasn't really trying to get them, I was just kind of like, well, whatever, I guess that's how they are. At that age, it didn't really matter to me at all. I didn't find any black girl attractive until I was about 12, so middle school age. The only reason that this happened was because I started to become pro-black. And when you're pro-black, you know only black men can be with black women and black love, that type of thing. So I was like, okay, so now I have to be with the black girl. So now we're going to get into the dating side of things. I'm not going to go down a whole list of bad experiences. I'm just going to summarize it by saying that I never got anywhere with any black girl. Most I got was like a date with one person or one little thing with one person. And when I'm going through this, I'm thinking to myself, how am I not attracting any black girls when I'm pro-black? I call them queens, I see them as great, and I want them to build and, black love. Why is this not attracting any of them? This is the point where my frustration started to come in, because I'm not just seeing it as I'm just trying to get some black girls. I'm viewing it as we need to come and build together, but none of them are wanting to do that with me. Around the age of 19, I just completely dropped this because it's not getting me anywhere. From then to the present, whenever I try to do anything with a black girl, I'm just like, this is probably not going to go anywhere, and I don't really pursue it, or I half-ass it and it goes nowhere. It's kind of like we just weren't meant to be. If I never became pro-black, I wouldn't like them at any point in my life, most likely. If I'm being completely honest though, there are black women I'm attracted to, like literally right now, as of the time I'm making this video. But when I try to pursue it, like even slightly, it's kind of like this wasn't meant to happen. So I just explained my whole backstory with black women. So now, how do I view them in the present? Well, I'll just say not very positively. So how do I view them just as people? Well, my experience now versus as a kid, a lot of the times they're still rude and just terrible people to interact with. I mean, that's just what I'm used to experiencing with them on all different levels. Like, no amount of pro-blackness or trying to see their humanity is going to change that. It's just my experience. It is what it is. This video I'm doing is not even an anti-black woman video. This is just my experience with them. It's a negative experience, but it's my experience. I know there's black men out there that have plenty of great experiences with black women on different levels, and good for them. I just can't relate to that. If I had good experiences with them, I can view them as good people that I have a high respect for, but unfortunately, it's the exact opposite. How do I honestly feel about black women? First, I'm going to talk about my childhood.
All right. We got it. Okay. So, where do we start? Well, I'm not mad at you, brother. I have no issues with nothing you said. Why would I? For starters, I want to say I appreciate the fact that he was being transparent. We need honesty. There's absolutely no reason why we can't use these platforms for however we see fit. If this is the way you need to vent, or if this is the trajectory that you took, that's perfectly okay. Now, I want to address the first part that I caught, his upbringing, right? Because I had a conversation with a driver before about the differences between a black man growing up in the hood and a black man growing up in the suburbs. Just because you grow up in a gated community does not make you less black. Just because you grew up in dangerous neighborhoods does not mean that you're more black. Let's go ahead and clear the air. The components that make you by definition, African American has nothing to do with where you were raised. Has nothing to do with these stereotypes. It has nothing to do with these indifferences that we consistently argue about over and over and over again. Biologically, you're more likely to be mixed with more than one race anyway. If you just so happen to have that dominant trait, then yes, you are black, you are African American. If you grew up in a neighborhood that is safe, the violence is not as high, your neighbors are neighbors, they say hi to you, they bring you cookies and shit, y'all hang out at each other's houses, y'all play checkers and have family movie nights, and your kids are friends with their kids, and y'all go on trips together as neighbors. And if you've grown up in that type of a lifestyle, your experience is going to be completely different than someone who did not get that. These people, they know what it looks like to have friendships, real ones. They know what it looks like to have arguments without them turning into gunfights, knives being pulled out, guns being pulled out. I think people forget that we're all human. We didn't ask to be brought up in the conditions that we are brought up in. Some are more blessed than others to never see the difficulties that their parents got. Some are more fortunate and they got to go to the schools that provided the services necessary to give you the education that you need. Some people got the head starts. Some people got the short end of the stick. And those elements gave you polar opposites. So this young man right here, when he talks about he was around white girls, that was how he was brought up. That was how he was raised. That's what he saw. His parents, they protected him. They actually invested in his upbringing. They didn't sit around and let him get into mischief every single opportunity a knucklehead from the other side of the block pulled up and wanted to take him into problems and drama. He had an entirely different lifestyle. Why would anybody be upset with that? Why would you be mad at that? That's like me telling you, Arcana, that you have no right to like what you like, but that's what you know. That's what you were brought up on. If you like pizza, you like pizza. If you like Papa John's over Domino's, who am I to say anything about that? The recipe is different. Your taste buds are different. The things that you find endearing or satisfying with their toppings versus is like there's no point of me arguing about that. You're unique. They created you different. All of us are different. So he says he's been around white girls all of his life. Okay, that's cool. He's been around white girls all of his life. And I guarantee you, if he's been around that, then the way that they interacted with him had to have been completely different than the way the black girls interacted with him. He wouldn't have said it out of his mouth if that wasn't the case. I don't know why people get so offended when you say, oh, well, I didn't have the same type of lifestyle that you had, but I'm just telling you, this is what I got. We don't even know if he was in an all-white school. He might have been predominantly in one, which made him a token black guy. Maybe he had a community of black men in his upbringing, and their speech is different. They walk different. Their interests are different. Just because you're black, that does not mean that you have to like fried chicken. It don't mean that you have to argue and yell or curse or be disrespectful. Just because you prefer to be a part of the chess club does not make you more or less than the next person. At this point in 2025, we should not even have those barriers up. You be whatever the hell you want to be, and you hang out with whoever you want to hang out with. because the things that we think are cool got people in jail and got people locked up, dead. The things that y'all always associate with popularity and attraction, the characteristics that come with it, absolutely horrible. We got to stop with that. But what he's saying is, all right, this is what I've been around. This is what I've dated. This is my preference, and it's not that I ever had. I'm trying to translate what I gathered from it. It's not that I really had an issue with other races. It's just that based on how I was treated, these are the type that I gravitate towards because I can be myself. There's no peer pressure. There's certain things that black people put on other black people to do, and if you don't live up to their standards or their criterias, then they disqualify you. They kick you out the whip. You ain't black if you don't fight. You ain't black if you don't smack girls on their ass. You ain't black if you don't play Freaky Friday. You're not black if you don't cuss at the teacher. You're not black if you don't cut class. You're not black if you don't smoke weed. You're not black if you're not disrespectful to your parents. You're not black if you're this. You're not the typical stereotypes that y'all celebrate and highlight as being something worth showing off for. These white girls, I'm not even talking about the ones that be trying to be black. I'm talking about the ones that embrace their carcassity. The ones that are cheerleaders and they're, oh my gosh, oh, look at Becky. The ones that you've seen Gossip Girl and all of these shows, you know what I'm talking about. Those, the ones that are authentically just quirky and they like Taylor Swift and shit like that. Sock ops, going to the prom and going to the fair and doing all that shit. The stuff that we look at and be like, oh, we ain't doing that. Black people don't do that. Black people don't swim. Black people don't jump off buildings. Black people, that type of shit. Which is a problem. It's really a problem. So white women can be bitches. They can be fucking horrible. They can be trash too. We're not going to sit up here and act like all of them are pleasant. We're not going to sit up here and act like we don't have a lot of racism still going on in 2025. That's not what this is about. This is about him saying the girls that I grew up around, their ideologies were different than the black girls that I grew up around. The parents are a key factor in the development of the personalities in which you engage on a daily basis. So if these parents are kind and gentle and they know how to communicate and know how to maintain structure in their home, and they aren't without spirituality and they aren't worldly, they move different. And that's just humans in general. People who operate from a spiritual aspect and they have God, and you live in a pretty decent area. Healthcare is good. The water is good. The food is good. The quality of life is good. You can rest. You can lay your head. You ain't worried about people robbing you and breaking into your shit and this, that, and that, and that, and the third. You ain't worried about your neighbors fighting over top of you, loud as shit. You trying to sleep. Boom, 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 boom. Stomping, playing loud ass music, all that. When you're not in fear, when you're comfortable, when you're able to just relax and just be whatever the hell you are destined to be without the judgment of others, that's a level of freedom that most people cannot express or speak on. It's adults right now that's still trying to figure out who they are. We condemn ourselves. We are absolutely condemners of ourselves. You see it all the time, bro. If you don't wear Jordans, you're corny. If you don't like football, you're gay. You're corny. You don't like basketball? What's wrong with you? What? You watch wrestling? What? You like anime? What? We do it to ourselves. A lot of what we reflect is based on stupid pressure that we put on each other. Ain't even the right type of motivation. Niggas be they instigate, then you get locked up, and then you're expected to take a charge for something that you had nothing to do with, all over a sense of, well, this is going to get me more respect if I stab somebody 25 times for some drugs that I was selling to the community and they didn't. What? He grew up around women or girls, and he grew up around adults that did not want the poison to affect them the same way that it's affected everybody else. That's it. So when he is dealing with the opposite gender, they're more friendly. They smile. They're more welcoming. The level of respect is different. And on top of that, you can wear whatever the hell you want. I mean, granted, even on that side, you're still superficial. Like, I don't know if people get it. We are pretty much all the same. Their superficial expectations are just the same as ours. We are just way more overboard, way more aggressive. Their shit is more subtle. From the clothes to the hairstyles, all that shit. It's very difficult to say, you know what, I'm gonna be the black guy who likes anime. I like chess. I like checkers. I like paddle boating and jet skiing, and I want to do all types of shit that nobody from my culture will ever think of doing. Swimming with sharks and alligators and shit like that. when you're free to really just be yourself, man, you don't give a fuck about what nobody else say. I really believe that people who put others in a box are miserable. Don't put me in no box. Don't tell me I'm not allowed to zip line and shit. I want to zip line, my nigga. I want to zip line. I want to paddle boat. I want to ski. I want to go and climb mountains, not them big ass Appalachian type mountains, not Kilimanjaro, none of that. No, I'm not talking about shit like that. Some slight. I want to see volcanoes and shit. Yes, I want to walk on inactive volcanoes. I want to see the world. This world is big as fuck. You think I want to be stuck here in one space looking at your dusty, miserable asses all day? Fucking the same girl and the same dude, shooting at each other all the time, angry, bitter. Hell no. I want to be me. I don't fuck that. I want to be me. Being me will make sure that I eliminate 99.9% of the rest of you motherfuckers, because y'all just refuse to change. Y'all just want to be stuck in this little limbo. I don't. I refuse. And this brother didn't grow up like most of us, hating each other. We don't support each other unless it's got something to do with drama or sex. Or you're famous, extremely wealthy, extremely popular. Everybody love you. You're cool. You're arrogant. You're cocky. You went to jail a couple of times. Stupid shit. Nothing creative whatsoever about it. We're born. We observe our surroundings. We replicate our surroundings and then die. And then the cycle continues. It's like the fucking Avatar state, the Avatar cycle. If you've ever watched the Avatar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Avatar always comes back with different powers. He might have been the waterbender one lifetime, and then he mastered all the elements. But then he dies, and then he comes back as a fire bender or a fucking earth bender. It's the same shit with black culture. You didn't ask for it when you were born. Your parents fucked you up. They didn't tell you, like, look, this is not what you I need you to be the fuck who you need to be for you. I don't need you trying to be Tyrone and Chad. I don't need you trying to be Chris Brown, my nigga. I don't need you trying to be some NFL superstar. That's not who you are. If you want to ice skate, if you want to fucking ice boat and fish and like whatever, you do what you need to do for you. Do what God wants you to do for you. Don't be sitting up here listening to the fucking internet. These niggas in the comment section calling you all type of weirdos and names and shit because you don't want to smoke weed and crack and shoot up and shit. Don't listen to these fucking idiots. Listen to the ones who was on oil rigs making $200,000 a year. Listen to people who are working in NASA. Listen to them. Do not listen to a nigga that is standing in front of a liquor store or in front of a gas station. That is their entire career. That's their path. This homeboy right here, he had a different experience with women. So when he starts to say, all right, my thing with black women, it wasn't really all that great. You know, they're mean, they're rude, they weren't really rocking with me. I will say this, and this goes for all genders across the spectrum. You are not entitled to vagina. You are not entitled to anybody's body. All right. Preferences exist for a reason. You can like whoever the hell you want. If that's what you're attracted to and that's what you're into, then go for it. Do you, please. And every black woman is not gonna like every black man. Every white woman is not gonna like every white man. You think, yeah, unpopular opinion. I don't think Angel Reese is all that. I think Angel Reese is a solid 6. To me, Angel Reese is basic. To me, Beyonce is basic. But you know, that's just me. As far as everybody is concerned, shit, I'm probably not even your favorite cup of tea. I probably ain't shit to a lot of people. That's cool. I ain't knocking it. I'm cool with that. My point is, his experience with black women weren't the greatest, and it could be for a number of reasons. We got to acknowledge the fact that you're probably just not their preference. The way you dress, your forehead, the shape of your face, your body structure, all that shit matters. And if they ain't with it, they ain't with the way you talk, hey, it is what it is. But let me say this too. Every black woman in the world is not the way that you experience them. See, I'm unbiased. I'm very unbiased. You know what I'm saying? I have not been to London. The women in London that are black, I'm pretty sure they do not move the same way that the women in Baltimore move. I'm pretty sure the women that are black in Costa Rica don't move the same way the women in West Virginia move. You universally, you're just rolling the dice. It's unfortunate. Everybody wants to be loved, and I'm listening to him, and the way that he's describing it is as if every single one that he's ever come in contact with just completely dismissed them. My honest opinion, when you're young, that's the worst. If you ain't taught right, you don't realize until you get older that the things that you were identifying with to be attractive don't hold the same weight when you hit 30, 25, 26, 27, 28. Let me address this comment here on the screen. That's weird. Very. And why? Why do they do it? Most black people think that wearing your pants off your ass is some type of sign that you belong.
How are you supposed to talk?
Please explain to me that. I didn't know there was a handbook on how black people are supposed to enunciate words. I'm not supposed to use big words. I'm not supposed to read. I'm not supposed to know the dictionary. I'm not supposed to hyphenate. I'm not supposed what? I don't care if you have a deep voice, a soft voice. I don't care if you have a high pitched voice. As long as your heart is pure and in the right place, I could care less. The way a lot of us were brought up, we never had a chance. And that's real talk. We never had a chance. A lot of our loved ones, we love them to death, but they screwed us over. They did not teach us not to be so pressed and so concerned about the way a person dresses or walks. A lot of us were not taught not to laugh when someone does not succeed. We mock it. We make jokes about it. We make memes about it. A lot of the shit that we do in this culture is trash as fuck. So if he's saying that these girls didn't really give him much play, it's because they were raised like that. Either they were raised like that or you're just not their type. I guarantee you. You take that brother right there, you put him in a different location where there are other black women that did not get indoctrinated by the murky, toxic waste of bullshit that we grew up on. I guarantee you his experience would be way different. I know black women today who talk like they are not black. I had to air quote it because, as far as I'm concerned, she talks black. But if you heard her talk, you would think she would talk white. I don't look at shit like that. You just talk how you talk, especially if you've been around groups of people for a very long time. You pick up on the accent. That's just your voice. Now, let me address something else that he has said. We can't brush this under the rug. I scroll and I scroll and I scroll and I scroll. I do this shit from sun up to sundown. TikTok, Facebook, Rumble, IG, you name it. I'm there. I listen to your queens, these women that you call queens. I do the reaction videos. One I just recently did. A black woman. I'm proud of selling my cat. I sell it. I sell it for $1,000 a month. It's fun. It's easy. I enjoy it. What? You know she grew up that way. You know somebody taught her that. She didn't learn that on her own. Or you got your black woman who gets on the internet and says that a man is trying to be a vagina holder because Offset wants alimony from Cardi B, as if men aren't supposed to get anything from a divorce. We're just supposed to roll over and die and then pay you restitution for the rest of our life because you're a woman. This chick, man, I really want to do it, but I'm not. She said to all you men in the comment section and all you men making videos about Offset getting alimony, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all must just want to be women. Y'all just want to have vaginas. Y'all don't want penises. Y'all want to be women so bad. Gaslighting, dogging, downgrading, saying all types of like venereal shit. That's how you talk to your kings. That's how you uplift black men. That's how you support black men. If he grew up around black women like that, yeah, bro, you ain't never have a shot. Especially because you come off so proper, very proper. Matter of fact, let me see. I'm gonna play that shit one more time. For those of you who didn't get a chance to experience this, and I want to make sure I address everything he said. Let me bring this back up here on this screen real quick. This brother right here, based on like, I'm trying to play devil's advocate. I want to speak superficially and I want to speak with like some fucking common sense. Superficially, based on what I'm looking at, as a black man who ain't got no common sense, and we just like still stuck in this indoctrinated perspective of how humans are supposed to act, because I guess all humans are supposed to scratch their ass, fuck a million times, spread STDs and go to jail and all this other dumb shit. I guess by looking at him, you're gonna say, oh, based on how he talks and how he looks and this, that, and third, yeah, he deserves. I want you to honestly tell me that you don't know at least one person, past or present, that would have looked at him and listened to the way he talks at some point in life, and they wouldn't have treated that man poorly. Don't even know him, but it's just off of appearance and how he carries himself. Hold up. I'm running back one more time because
What do I honestly feel about black women? First, I'm going to talk about my childhood and how I viewed black girls. As a little boy, I was never attracted to black girls. And I'd say the reason for this is because I saw white as a beauty standard. Turn on TV, white girls. Go outside, white girls. Go inside.
That part right there, that's something I want to address too. social media plays a huge role in how we perceive men and women. And I remember, and even to this day, it's still like that. When you see people on TV and in movies and in commercials, it's always white women, white or anything light skinned, anything that's close to white. They get the TV shows, they're the stars. They do the commercials. They're always slim, no ass, no titties. They're considered supermodels. I love that movie, by the way, bro. Yeah, I fucked with that movie. They put all of this shit in front of us, and then we think to ourselves, oh shit, I need to be skinny. I need to be slim. I need to talk like this. Hello, how you doing? Oh my God. They put that shit in front of you for 20, 30, 40 years. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to assimilate that shit. That's why people need the best bags. They need the shiniest toys. They need the slimmest women. It's only been up until the last 20 something years or so that folks want fat asses. Everybody's getting fat asses, lip fillers, all that shit. That's what he was programmed to like. When you see this, like, excuse me, I'm different. I look, bro. I saw all of it. Kelly Kapowski, yeah, Kelly Kapowski. Oh yeah. I wanted her. Kelly from Married with Children. Yes, sir. Did we forget about Topanga Lawrence? Yes, Topanga Lawrence. 90210. Oh, I know my white girls. I know my white girls. Peggy was cool. Peggy was a little ratchet little white joint, little brunette joint. I didn't like her neighbor though. She was butch as fuck. I can't remember her name. The neighbor was butch as fuck, man. She had the whole army cut. She was built like Ellen DeGeneres. Marcy, yep. Marcy ain't had no body. She ain't had no ass. She ain't had shit. And she was bossy as fuck. I really believe she was the first stud. I really believe she was the first stud. But my point is, like, even though I seen all the bad white girls, man, I still love Lisa Turtle, Myra from Family Matters, Ashley Banks, my nigga. Laura was okay. She was never all that to me. I can go on and on and on about that shit. I didn't care. I don't have a preference. If you look good and you in shape, I'm cool. But the way he's talking is like, well, shit. He just solely locked in. whatever.
School, the ones I found attractive, white girls. Why didn't I like black girls as a child? Well, I just saw them more as like closer to family. They're like closer to like me, and that's not who I'm supposed to be attracted to. Looking back subconsciously, that's how I saw it as a kid, but I wouldn't be able to put it into words when I was that age. That's just how it was.
I'm sorry. Nah. I looked at family like family, my nigga. Anything outside of my house, you was definitely on the list. No exemption. What? How did that happen? I wonder, did he have any sisters or brothers? I really wonder what the household dynamic was for him to sit there and say he looked at them like they were family and shit.
When I would have interaction with the black girls, a lot of times they were often rude, mean, sassy, but since I wasn't really trying to get them, I was just kind of like, well, whatever, I guess that's how they are. At that age, it didn't really matter to me at all. I didn't find any black girl attractive until I was about 12, so middle school age. The only reason that this happened was because I started to become pro-black. And when you're pro-black, you know only black men can be with black women and black love.
One thing I want to point out too, side note, parents, yes, all that cootie shit, stop. I was 11, 10, 12 years old when I started getting horny and I started like really, really being attracted to girls, man. I was young as fuck. Y'all better start having them conversations. Start waiting on the school to teach them about this shit. You better go ahead and jump on that immediately. But there, I can attest to that. Back in school, them little girls, they was fast as fuck. And they were mean as shit too. A lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It all depends on where you grew up, though.
That type of thing. So I was like, okay, so now I have to be with the black girl. So now we're going to get into the dating side of things. I'm not going to go down a whole list of bad experiences. I'm just going to summarize it by saying that I never got anywhere with any black girl. Most I got was like a date with one person or one little thing with one person. And when I'm going through this, I'm thinking to myself, how am I not attracting any black girls when I'm pro-black? I call them queens, I see them as great, and I want them to build and, black love. Why is this not attracting any of them? This is the point where my frustration started to come in, because I'm not just seeing it as I'm just trying to get some black girls. I'm viewing it as we need to come and build together, but none of them are wanting to do that with me. Around the age of 19, I just completely dropped this because it's not getting me anywhere. From then to the present, whenever I try to do anything with a black girl, I'm just like, this is probably not going to go anywhere, and I don't really pursue it, or I half-ass it and it goes nowhere. It's kind of like we just weren't meant to be. If I never became pro-black, I wouldn't like them at any point in my life, most likely. If I'm being completely honest though, there are black women I'm attracted to, literally right now, as of the time I'm making this video. But when I try to pursue it, even slightly, it's kind of like this wasn't meant to happen. I just explained my whole backstory with black women. So now, how do I view them in the present? Well, I'll just say not very positively. So how do I view them just as people? Well, my experience now versus as a kid, a lot of the times they're still rude and just terrible people to interact with. I mean, that's just what I'm used to experiencing with them on all different levels. No amount of pro-blackness or trying to see their humanity is going to change that. It's just my experience. It is what it is. This video I'm doing is not even an anti-black woman video. This is just my experience with them. It's a negative experience, but it's my experience. I know there's black men out there that have plenty of great experiences with black women on different levels, and good for them. I just can't relate to that. If I had good experiences with them, I could view them as good people that I have a high respect for, but unfortunately, it's the exact opposite. How do I honestly?
This is how I want to close out this. Right. First, I think it's dope that your daughter's into stuff that's not sexy red, bro. I hope and pray she stays uniquely her. Do not be conformed to this world. Um, to my sisters out here, my independent queens, to all of the feminists, this video is to shed a light on characteristics that are very unflattering to a large population of men and women. It is not a reflection on you personally if this does not apply. Look at this from two different points. Just like men aren't being men anymore, there are a lot of women who aren't being women anymore, or they've never been taught how to be. We both are at fault or lacking in areas. That is unequivocally not up for debate. You cannot continue to personalize everything. You cannot continue to ignore a surplus of human beings saying the same things and not say, okay, there is a problem. We need to fix it. Just like men need to fix their bullshit. I agree with you. It's unfortunate, bro. Whatever his experiences was, and he still feels the way he feels, that is a real problem. He doesn't come off like a serial killer or someone who's going to go on a crusade to destroy, because he did say there are women that he's attracted to, but to not like them, you don't really have to if you don't want to. But doesn't that really say something? Do you know what you have to go through to not like a person? Like I could understand if he was saying I don't like specific people individually, but the way that he phrased I don't like black women, like as a whole, do you know what that says about you? Probably don't care though, ladies. You probably don't care that his experience has been completely fried. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't want him anyway, right? But that's not a good look. It's not. I mean, I love everybody. What I don't like certain habits. I don't like certain personalities. I don't like certain intrinsic things within a person that makes them ugly. I don't like that. But to say you don't like you don't like a specific group of people, is that more of a reflection on him or more of a reflection on the type of people you are when you go out here into the world and you interact with people? We gotta hold a mirror up to our face and start being honest about some of this shit. Hopefully one day he runs into someone of his complexion and he sees an entirely different version of what he's used to, because everybody doesn't move like that and everybody does not treat other individuals the way that he's experiencing it. Just like every black man is not going to look like Snoop Dogg or Chris Brown or the Baby. It's not your skin alone that makes you who you are. Your identity and the culture that you're in are synonymous. You need to be you. Being black to me, being black means being yourself, whoever and however that is. If you're biologically this, you're biologically that. Like if you're white or if you're Asian and you act how you act, that's just you. That does not mean that you're pretending to be, as long as you're not cosplaying and you're just authentically you, so the fuck what? You don't want everybody to like you anyway. Love yourself for who you are. Allow people to love you in the state that you are in and not in the state that they want you to be in. I'd be damned if I try to be your ex-boyfriend or I try to be some street dude, or I'm not pretending to be no fucking body. I'm gonna be me, and if you like this version, then we good. If you don't like this version, I welcome you to explore other avenues that fit you better. It's pretty much that simple. A lot of you are going to be miserable and unhappy for forever. Why? Because you don't know who you are. And because you don't know who you are, you're never going to be satisfied with someone who is being who they are. Because once you're comfortable with who you are, that gives you the opportunity to be more accepting of anyone who decides to come into your proximity. But you can't. You're limited. You're limited by stereotypes. You're limited by social media. You're limited by cameras and angles and posts and memes and jokes. Your influencers are your biggest idols. You don't think for yourself. They think for you. And as long as you have other entities thinking for you, you fucked. I think this brother is limited. I think and I believe that he wants a different experience, but he continuously gets the same one. And so because he keeps getting the same experience over, this is what he has concluded. I believe at some point, though, it might shift. It just very so might change completely. Those are my 2 cents on this whole story. Do you agree, disagree? How do y'all feel about it? Love who you love. Date whoever you want to date. I don't care. Nobody should be entitled or forced to stay within a group of individuals if they are not meshing. Go where you are wanted. Be with who wants you. Do not force yourself to be somewhere just because everybody says you have to be the same complexion in order for it to work. That shit don't work like that. Life does not work like that. Just because they're tall, that does not mean that they're going to be able to provide for you. Just because she got a fat ass, that does not mean that she knows how to cook or clean or know how to love you. Just because he makes $3 million a year does not mean that he's going to be faithful to you. Just because this nigga was all over XXL magazine, that does not mean that he's going to take care of you. And like, y'all gotta stop with all this superficial shit, man. Get rid of these barriers that's holding y'all down, man. Real talk. But I want to say thank you. Salutes to everybody who pulled up. Appreciate y'all. Shouts to Arcana, Chef, everybody from Sydney to Jason. Just the whole Threads crew, man. Blessings to everybody. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. and then later on that evening at 8. So I don't know what I got going on for the rest of the night, but I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening. If you got to get up in the morning, drive safe. Pray before you go to bed. Pray before you leave out the house. Clear your head of anything negative. And yeah, you know how to reach me if you need to. I'll be in the lab. I'm always dropping something. I drop videos every day. So even if I'm not live, I'm still doing something. All right. But y'all take care. I will see you guys, Lord willing, tomorrow morning on the King's Table Morning Show. Y'all be easy. Do me a solid before you go.
What's the goddamn button back?
Peace.
If I'm a one-hit wonder, at least I got one, huh? At least I got something, really ain't me. The beat bumping, one song could change lives. Let's see something, one joke could save lives. We gon' keep coming, keep functioning, something out of nothing. Ball-wise, I'm top 300, get your favorite artist. I'll chop it up with mutton if they haters. Your ghost could be bludgeon if they for real. We getting money, subtract BS minus Negroes, cutting everything authentic. Stupid shit I did it, punishing myself like my mom prison. No questions, no tea, not lifted. One time for tea, being broke wasn't